This particular bike has a very small frame opening. As you can see, there's not a heck of a lot of room in there for just about anything. The two mounting points on this particular bike for the B-RAD system would be here in the traditional spot for a water bottle, and underneath where we have another mounting point. However, we also have a cable that runs down underneath here and a I guess a cable holder in place. So I'm not sure if the B-RAD mounting plate will go on here, but I'll take a look. And this bike here has a much bigger frame opening. As you can see, there's a lot more room in there. But still, this particular model has a bottle mount right there. Some bikes with larger frames will also have them mounted along this side. It also has a mounting place underneath with no cables along here, which is great. And one thing about this bike, where it does have a rigid front end, it has two braze-ons here. Now it does have a brake cable coming down, but I'm sure that the B-RAD system can slide up underneath this, and you'll be able to mount some interesting stuff to it. It's actually very easy to install the rail system. This is the B-RAD 2. You take out your existing bottle mount bolts, use the ones supplied from Wolf Tooth, and when you screw them down, they'll go into those slots, and that's what will hold the rail in place. And these two threaded holes, the one there and the one there, that's where you can mount your water bottle. And here is the double bottle mount. Using the Wolf Tooth supplied bolts, it screws right into the rail system, and the bottle cages bolt on here. And with the water Q factor on a fat bike, you don't have to push your water bottles all the way to the top of the frame for clearance. You can actually keep them lower in the frame, which keeps the weight lower in the frame as well, which is always good. When using a longer rail like the B-RAD 4 in a smaller frame, it's probably better to install the bracketry for the double water bottles prior to putting it into frame, because there's not a lot of room to get in up here to tighten up the bolts. And when I did do that, I looked down and it was, oh shoot, touching against the frame. But then I realized that down here it was in its, say, lowest position. So I just backed off those two bolts, slid it down, and the water bottles are no longer touching the frame. And for those of you who have fat bikes with cables running underneath your frame, the B-RAD system can also work down here. You just remove the mount for the cable, which is in right there on my frame, and zip tie to the actual B-RAD system. It's just as secure. I have the double bottle cage mounted up here, and down below I switched things up a little. I took out the tube and I found this bottle and put all my tools in it, so it's mounts in there quite sturdy. And actually, if you wanted to, you could take another old water bottle to get some more extra room and mount in there as well. The B-RAD 4 mounted to the front fork with a double bottle. And this would probably be a pretty popular configuration. It's the B-RAD 2 mounted inside the frame. Up top we have a double water bottle. Down below we have the strap and accessory mount with a fat bike tube.